Hello guys, welcome to Education India. This is the second of third video of time and work series. In this video we will be explaining two concepts and the rest two concepts will be explained in the later video series. First type for this video series is the payment basis. Question may arise that there are more than one person engaged in a work on payment basis, so the distribution of their wages to each person, it depends on such factors. They are as follows. The distribution will be in direct proportion to the work done by each person. So the amount of work done, the share of the work done is in direct proportion to the work done by each person. What does this mean? This means that the share of work done by the particular person determines the amount of money. Point number 2 is in direct proportion to the 1 day's work of each person. So this is the 1 day's work which would determine the total wage that a person would be getting. And the third and the most important thing is that the share is dependent upon the alone time of each person inversely. What does this mean? Alone time of a person, let's say A, is less, so he can get more share. What it basically means that the person A is capable of doing more work in less time, so definitely he would be getting more amount. Okay, we will have example based on this that will clarify your doubts. Let's have a question. There are two friends to do a work and the amount allotted for the work is rupees 960. One of them is capable of doing the work in just 20 days and another require just 16 days. Now they wanted an expert to help them, and all of them together, the friend A, friend B and the expert, they are capable to complete the work in 4 days. So we need to calculate the remuneration that the expert should get. Okay, so the approach for this kind of problems is we first need to calculate the time required by the expert or the third party. Okay, so A requires 20 days to complete the work, so the 1 day work would be 1 upon 20th. B requires 16 days to do the work, so the B does 1/16th of the work in 1 day. Let's assume that C requires T days to complete the work alone, so the alone time of the expert C would be 1 upon T. So C does 1/10th work in 1 day. Now what happens when A, B and C, they combine together? 1 upon T plus 1 upon 16 plus 1 upon 20th, this fraction of work in 1 day. They complete the work in 4 days. So according to the question, we had 1 upon 4 as the combined 1 day's work. So equating the equation 1, the fraction of work got from this combination 1 upon T, 1 upon 16 and 1 upon 20 to 1 upon 4, and solving the equation for T, we got T equals 80 upon 11. So this is the time required by the expert C to do the work alone. Okay, so that's some 7.27 days. We need to calculate now the remuneration that expert should get. Okay, it's simple. As I told you that the wage or the remuneration got by a worker depends inversely upon the alone time of the work. So C doing some part of the work for 1 day, he has 11 upon 80 share. So C doing the part for 4 days, he has 4 into 11 upon 80. And that is the fraction of the wage that she should get. So 4 into 11 upon 80 into 960 is the amount assigned to C. C is capable of doing the work in 80 upon 11 days. So the alone time of C would be 11 upon 80. So the wage that C is capable of should be proportional to 11 upon 80 in 1 day. C does the work for 4 days. So that's 4 into 11 upon 80. And the total amount assigned is 960. So 4 into 11 upon 80 is the share of C, that is the total amount. So 4 into 11 upon 80 into 960. So this is the amount 528. This amount should be assigned to C. Similarly, there is a task for you guys to calculate the remuneration for A and B also. You know the alone time of A and B, so you should be able to find out the remuneration for A and B. Okay, the next concept is about the building a wall. Here the unit of work is considered in terms of the volume of work. Let's assume that the volume of work is here the case of building of a wall. So the unit of work depends upon the volume of the wall. That's LBH definitely. Let's assume that there are M1 men doing a work for T1 time and about D1 days. So M1 men doing T1 hours of work for D1 days would complete a wall of length L1, breadth B1 and height H1. Similarly is the case where M2 men working for T2 hours for D2 days would complete a volume of work, that is of building a wall of length L2, breadth B2 and height H2. So the ratios equate to each other. We have a short example here. Let's assume that there are 20 men working 8 hours a day can completely build a wall of dimension 200 cross 10 cross 20 meters in 10 days. So M1 equals 20, T1 equals 8 and D1 equals 10. L1, B1, H1 equals 200 into 10 into 20. The next case is we need to calculate the number of days 25 men working 12 hours a day required to build a wall of dimension 400 into 10 into 15. So according to the equation, the basic equation that we have, we put the corresponding values L1, B1, H1, L2, B2, H2, M1, T1, D1, M2, T2, D2. We have all the values. We have a alone variable T2. So solving for T2 we have 8 hours. What it means that 20 men working 8 hours a day for 10 days, that's put here, can build a wall of dimension this 200 into 10 into 20. The case 2, 25 men working 8 hours a day for 12 days can build a wall for 400 into 10 into 15. You can have a short analysis here. See, the days have been increased, the time remains constant, the number of men has been increased. You can have the work done also increased. You can see the work done has also been increased. See, the breadth has been constant, the height has been definitely decreased, but the length was doubled. So to compensate that doubling factor, you need to increase the number of men working for you. So that's went for the end of second part of the video series on time and work. On the upcoming videos, we shall have a deep insight on the complicated issues. I hope you guys liked it. Kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel. We will be happy to deal with your problems.